How do you kickstart a comic? Well, back in May, Bones and I kickstarted our new comic, The Scourge of Ninepoint. We had a really good time, we hit our goal, and we hit it early. So I'm going to share with you some tips I have for how to do a successful Kickstarter for your comic, especially if it's your first Kickstarter ever. Number 1, do a very small project that's super deliverable. So Scourge of Ninepoint is a 20-page comic issue. It isn't like a full graphic novel, it's just like a single issue. And it's our first issue. So we planned to put out PDFs, print volumes, and some cool swag as like additions for the upper tiers of our Kickstarter. For example, we had like t-shirts, buttons, signed books, some commissions and sketches. Scourge of Ninepoint is a furry comic with like cat nights. So we put in, some prizes some backer rewards where like, we draw your pet as a knight, or we put one of your OCs or your pet into a future volume. So it's all stuff that was super easy for us to make. They're small volumes, so they're really easy to print. Bones and I both have experience with printing and making buttons. So it was all stuff that we could deliver super easily. And we had a really small goal. We only asked for $2,000 overall I think it was to print 1,000 booklets. So we started small. I've seen other people who do Kickstarters where they try to print too much or do too much, and they don't reach their goal. So it's really good to start with something small and really manageable, like something that you've basically proven that you can do already, If you have experience with it, that's like extra bonus points. It especially helps if you've already drawn the comic and you're just making like a print version of it. But either way, if it's something you can definitely manage and it's small and deliverable, that's your best bet for your first one. So when you're planning out your Kickstarter, make sure to set like a really reasonable amount of time before delivery. So for example, Bones and I are like super busy. At the time, we had 2 other comics on the go. So we gave ourselves like 6 or 7 months for everything to be delivered. And honestly, we're still working on them right now. We still have swag and extra stuff that we need to make and send out. And we did this project back in May. But the important thing is you need to be realistic and you need to communicate those timelines to your backers so that they know what to expect. So they're not sitting around saying like, you said you would have this out in like a month. Where is it? So be good to yourself and be clear with your backers. Because like, they're going to want to buy your comic. Just like, let them know what's going on. They'll understand. They know you're a little indie creator. They're cool people. They'll get it. What I've learned is that it will always take you longer than you think to get everything prepped. So give yourself like extra time if you can. Also make sure to calculate your totals really carefully. Account for like shipping, for extra stuff like stretch goals, things like that. Try to calculate as much as you can and be prepared to probably pay out of pocket. Because basically you don't want to find out after your project is done and you've promised all these people to deliver this stuff that you don't have the money for shipping and you have to spend like $4,000 on shipping yourself. So make sure to account for that. And account for international shipping too, because that can get really expensive. So yeah, do your research on shipping and costs, and probably line up your printing place or your like silk screen place for your t-shirts. Make sure to line it up as much as possible. You'll be thanking yourself later. Okay, so you planned out all your stuff, right? So you're good. You're like, I got this. I have a small project that I'm going to print. I've figured out all the costs. I'm going to give myself lots of time to get this done, and I'm ready to go. Okay, so you put out your Kickstarter. Make sure before you put it out, or the day you put it out, you get all your friends and family to back your project. This is really important, especially super early on, because if you manage to reach 10% of your goal in the first week, the chances of you meeting your goal, like, skyrocket. So ask all your friends, ask all your family if they can back your project. Don't be shy. It's not too much to ask, like, can you put down $5 for this thing? And most of the time, they'll want to support you because they're your friends and family and they love you and they want you to succeed and do this really cool thing. Get the word out to all the people you love and who love you and get your numbers up in that first week. And make sure to post about it a lot because you only have like I think the minimum is like 30 days for Kickstarter. I don't know. Bones set that part up. I can't remember. But yeah, post about it a lot. Get the word out to as many people as you can. Just blatantly ask for retweets and reblogs and sharing because you only have so much time. You've got to get the word out about this project. And people are super nice and they'll help you out. Just make sure to like thank them, be super gracious, and pay it forward in the future, you know? One thing that Bones and I did to keep like our constant updates from getting stale, we made like custom sketches per every update. So basically, when we hit like 25%, you know, I do like a cute little sketch of our main character thanking everyone who backed and who shared and supported. Because the people who share your work are just as important as the people who back your work. So, right, but we did these customized little sketches just so that, like, we're not spamming people with the same post all the time. You know, get the word out, but don't be annoying. It's a hard line to walk. But yeah, but that's a good way to get yourself noticed. It's a good way to keep it from getting stale. And it's fun. Like, I had a lot of fun during the Kickstarter campaign, just drawing the characters being cute and posting every day. It was really fun. Anyways. Okay, so you're in the thick of your campaign. What do? Start planning some stretch goals. Stretch goals are super important because they give incentive for people to back you in like the last few days of your Kickstarter. I mean, really only start putting them out when you're like close to the end of your goal or you hit the end of your goal. But yeah, they're super important because they can give you that extra boost right at the end and you get to give your super cool backers more cool stuff. So you did it. You did your Kickstarter. You reached your goal. Maybe you went past it, did some stretch goals. You're all good. You did it. Good job. I don't know where this is going. Bones cut this. So one mistake that I made while doing our Kickstarter was that I didn't finish all the work beforehand. I was still in the process of doing like planning and designing for the comic when we did our Kickstarter, which was a huge mistake on my part because a lot of our prep time got eaten up with me doing the design work and then making the actual pages. And then, of course, all this crappy stuff came up while I'm working on these pages, so it took even longer. So yeah, definitely be prepared for like life to mess with you when you're supposed to be working on your Kickstarter. Right, and so make sure before you do all this wonderful, cool, exciting stuff that you have at least all your prep work done, and even better, you have the work finished. So like this is perfect if you like have a webcomic that you've been putting out for a long time and you just want to like compile it into a print book. That is like the best situation because then all your work is done. You just need to do like the marketing pieces and the swag and the backstarter and the Kickstarter pieces. So yeah, do your work beforehand because you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't. Trust me. Okay, so you completed your Kickstarter. You did all the cool stuff. Make sure to keep your backers posted on your progress as you're working to get everything printed and send the orders to them. Because people have been burned by Kickstarter before. There are lots of people who put up campaigns and then don't fulfill their promises. So don't be that guy. Don't be the person who does that. Fulfill your promises. And if you can't, be super transparent about it because people are taking a chance on you and they deserve to know what's going on. Go out there, have fun, be responsible. Doing your Kickstarter is super scary and exciting. But what I've learned is that if you have like a really good, cool comic, people are going to back it. Comics do really well on Kickstarter these days, from what I've learned. So it's not like a piece of cake, but it's a really good platform for indie creators. And I think you guys are all going to do super fantastic. Mira is meowing at me. Meow. Anyways, so my kitten is meowing at me, so I gotta go. But good luck with your Kickstarters. I wish you all the best. They're super fun and super rewarding. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions about any of this, because I think I threw a lot of information out really quickly, and I could probably do a lot more videos discussing kind of like my journey with Kickstarter. So if you have any questions about that, leave a comment down below. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!